You are watching Midnight Movie Talk live from Los Angeles as we have a huge story this weekend. These are the shows I love doing because this is box office deep dive tonight. There is so much that we need to discuss about Shazam 2, Shazam Fury of the Gods, because this film underperformed in a huge way this weekend. Now, remember back on Thursday night, I put this at 28 and a half. It ends up at 30 and a half. But again, that's the estimate from Warner Brothers. There's a very good chance that number drops and we end up nailing, well, maybe not 28 and a half, but let's call it 29.75. We're really close again. We nailed Scream. We're very close here on Shazam 2. And now we do the Sunday night autopsy. What happened to Shazam? Why did this film go splat? The number one reason is simple. It is CBM fatigue. People are tired of superheroes. There's been too many, and you've been underwhelmed by many of them in a row. And you go back to Thor: Love and Thunder. One of the issues that film had that I personally liked was the comedic tone. Obviously, it was a goof film, as I call them, and you didn't like it. Then we had Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, which was extremely underwhelming as a film. Very disappointing sequel to the original Black Panther. And then that film underperformed. So right now we're seeing these signs of fatigue in the superhero genre. And then we end up with Ant-Man 2, another film that I perfectly enjoyed, but a lot of you didn't like. And then the last film in is going to suffer the greatest, and that's what happened this weekend with Shazam 2. It's not just that, though. It is also the fact that nobody wanted this film. Nobody was clamoring to see Shazam 2. Shazam 1 was enough for me. I mean, half of that film was enough for me. That wears thin really fast. It's like Zach Levi playing Tom Hanks big as a superhero. That whole deal gets very just absolutely wears on you. So now you have a sequel where you have more of that, and now everybody's a superhero, and the film's just not great. That's the other half of this, right? It's a bad combination. Nobody wanted it, and the film's not great. Man, you talk about a toxic situation. When you have that combination in play, along with number one, CBM fatigue, watch out. Another reason, the reason that we're a few minutes late tonight, March Madness. People are watching the games, watching Gonzaga right now, TCU. Looks like Gonzaga's going to win that thing. So I flipped on and said, let's do this show. But a lot of younger folks, especially young males, are watching March Madness. They're not going to the movie theater. So you've got 3 strikes against this film. Also, the bad release date, which couples into the March Madness, but it's more than that, okay? It's going to lead into our big scope discussion here tonight about what we discuss so often about box office, and tonight is the perfect night to drill down deep on this. It is the Wake theory. I've told you guys the number one issue with any film, whether it succeeds or fails, is running into the wake of another film that preceded it in the weeks before. In this case, Shazam 2 runs into Scream 6. And then, right before that, Creed 3. And then Ant-Man a couple weeks before that. That is a stretch of 3. Well, the first one was popular for the first weekend. But Creed 3 outperforms. Scream 6 outperforms. What happens is, you, me, we go to movies all the time. We have A-List. You have Regal Unlimited. You go 3 days a week. But the average person goes to the multiplex maybe once a month. So when you take them out of the equation, and yes, Scream 6 does take some of that audience from Shazam 2 out. They extract it. So when that happens, then that next film, Shazam 2, is going to suffer. You do not want to run into the wake of another film. It will be very bad for you. Now, getting back to that bad release date. If Shazam, let's pull it up right now. When you look at the release schedule, okay? So when we look at the release schedule for the upcoming films, and we can go back a few weeks, because I think that's what we want to do here, essentially. Let me get to the right tab. We want to go back to the release schedule and go to domestic box office weekend. So here it is. These are our weekends that we've had so far in 2023. Avatar, look how long Avatar was around, okay? So we know that it held well. Trust me, you don't need to tell me that it passed 2.3 billion today. Only the third film to do that. You don't need to come in and tell me that. Don't do it. It still hasn't passed Top Gun Maverick. That one I take as my W. Thank you. And then we had Knock at the Cabin, underperformed. Magic Mike's Last Dance. I mean, good Lord, that was Super Bowl weekend. We knew that was going to be a disaster for that weekend. Then we had Ant-Man. Now, listen, hear me out. If we take Shazam and we move it up to January 27th, 28th, 29th, that weekend, where Avatar was falling apart and really everyone wanted to see it, already saw it. So right there, you slide Shazam 2 in. That film does better than 30.5. Maybe it's 35, maybe it's 40. Even though we still have the CBM fatigue, it's really, for me, it's all these factors, but I'm telling you that when you suck the oxygen out of the marketplace like we've had over the past few weekends, then you end up with what we got here with Shazam 2 underperforming and going splat. I mean, this is $100+ million film. It's not even going to get to 100 million domestic. It opens at 65 international total, all in for the weekend. That's a number that Warner Brothers wanted for the opening weekend domestic. Okay. And yes, I understand that things have changed since 2019 as far as the landscape of movie going. But here's the deal. And this is why one day I'm going to get paid a lot of money to help these studios decide what to do. Just bring me in as a consultant. Because if you would have, Warner Brothers, brought me in after Shazam in 2019 and you said, we're going to make a sequel, I'd say, no, we're not. This was a one and done. It is a gimmick film. It's old right now. And even the first film, you guys know, not a great film, okay? Don't tell me it's a great film. This film is definitely not a great film. But if you ask me, are we going to make $100+ million Shazam sequel? I'd say no way in hell. This was a one-shot gimmick film. Move on. You got your money. Be happy. I haven't had Skittles. Oh, the Skittles joke. Can we, now that most of you have seen the movie, can we talk quickly, and then we'll get into your comments about the box office, about how terrible the writing in Shazam Fury of the Gods is? And if you don't understand bad writing, look no further than the Skittles, okay? Not only they're in the pocket at the beginning, so here's the Skittles. Okay, where are we going with this? We know it's going somewhere because we have product placement. But the worst of the Skittles is when the unicorn's back in the alley, right? The demon unicorn, and she throws the Skittles out, and he comes out, he, I guess it's she, comes out and starts eating the Skittles. What does she say? She says, taste the rainbow. Fine. Okay, great. There's your line. There's your tag. We got it. And what happens less than a minute or maybe slightly around that after that? Here comes the line again. Taste the rainbow, motherfuckers. I'm like, what? That's such horrible writing. Like, the three of you who wrote this, honestly, after that mistake, after that kind of just absolutely atrocious decision to double down on the line within minutes, you are not writing a movie for me anytime in the near future. These are the things that you have to get super aggressive about when you evaluate films. That's terrible writing. It is an embarrassment to writing to double down on a line that was mildly funny and to regurgitate it less than 2 minutes later. Horrible. I mean, literally, if I run into those writers, I am going to browbeat them in the middle of the street. If someone says that's the guy who wrote the Skittles line, I'm going to say, no, you didn't write the Skittles line. You wrote it twice. And you destroyed it. It wasn't good the first time, and you destroyed it the second time. Okay, there we go. We're already fired up. I can't. God, that's terrible. Shazam flopped because no one wanted to see it. Not even DC fans. Yes, simple as that. Only a top tier DC characters like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman have a chance to do well at the box office. That is true. Let's also make sure this is stated. MCU is going to be more popular than DCEU just pretty much every time, okay? With the exception of Batman and Superman, when you look at Marvel has built their brand up. James Gunn has work to do. So when you start going into those minor characters like Marvel does with Ant-Man Quantumania, now Ant-Man 3, right? When you do that, you can do that in MCU. Now, granted, they paid a price for part 3, but still, they didn't pay the price that Warner Brothers is going to pay for this film, right? That's why you can't do this DCEU and start bringing up these minor characters like Shazam, a goof character that really doesn't even belong in your cinematic universe, other than that one shot film, a gimmick film, and then move on. It's over. So whoever made that decision, I'll tell you here right now, whoever made the decision to make Shazam 2, tomorrow you're fired. You walk on the lot and you're fired. It's over. Get your things, pack it up. In fact, your key card no longer works. They're going to pull into the gate there, right down the street here at Warner Brothers, and they're going to say, I'm sorry, sir, your access, or ma'am, your access has been cut off because you greenlit Shazam 2. Am I right? Give me a thumbs up. 100%. Why are you saying let's make Shazam 2? It's a terrible decision. People need to get fired for these decisions. You're gone. I saw the first Shazam. I remember it being good, a nice, strong family unit, competent father figure. For life of me, I don't remember much about it exactly. Literally forgettable. Dead sequel walking. There was no reason to make it, Patrick. You know that. Everyone knows that. Chris Gore's here tonight. You're going to answer questions on the Film Threat stream. Oh, no. You do not answer your questions here. You bring questions to me. Don't start answering them in the chat. It's going to be insanity here. Guys, I saw Shazam 2 yesterday in Dolby. It was okay at best, but that's the problem. It was only okay. That's not good enough. Nowhere near Black Adam. Black Adam is a film that I think you guys underappreciate. Is it a great film? Oh, no. But what it has, which is essential to a comic book movie success, is a hero in The Rock in Black Adam that physically looks the part. And that's the other thing, and we're going to do it. Chris Gore, you gave me the idea for this tonight. We are going to, at some point in the near future, very soon, I'm going to save it, Physique critique on Shazam, and I'm going to go off on Zach Levi. I'm going to go off on the costume. And this is why it's the perfect time to bring it up, is that The Rock, you don't need to put the full muscles in there. My man's built. He's stacked. He looks good. That's one of the reasons that film works. I know that sounds so basic. You're like, well, no shit. I mean, but literally, you have to fit the suit. And that's one of the reasons that I said that Robert Pattinson works as Batman. He's not the buffest guy, and I think he's going to get bigger for Batman 2. But he's got size. I told you I saw him in person at the A24 party a couple years ago, the Christmas party here in LA. And when I first thing I saw Robert Pattinson, and I go, you're tall. He's 6'2". So right there, you have a physical stature to you. And that, I know this sounds, just trust me on this. You need that in a superhero. And that's one of the reasons I think Michael Keaton, as much as we beloved that character and what he created, the first Batman in the cinematic realm, he just didn't have the physicality for that role. Ben Affleck does. He's about 6'2". I would guess. I've not seen him in person. I met him in person, but he was sitting down, and we were both sitting down. Also, you look at Henry Cavill. You talk about somebody who fills out a suit, who physically looks the part of Superman. When you cast Superman, when they decide to go with whoever they're going with, you got to get that right. The guy's got to be at least 6'1", 6'2". He's got to be physically fit, or it's not going to work. Nobody was asking for Shazam 2. Case closed. I mean, it's number one, right? Number one, and this will never be able to beat this, is if people don't want to see the movie, you can't just, make them go. It doesn't work like that. They have to have some kind of desire to see it. And before anybody gets on here, and I know someone will, so here's what's going to happen. Someone's going to come on here and say, oh, but Eric, guess what? They didn't do any promotion. Okay, hold on. Here we go. This is why I love to just absolutely tear these things to shreds live. Look here. Okay, so they didn't promote live. This is what someone said. Okay, this is in New York City, I would imagine near Times Square. But look here at this gigantic
from Times Square, New York
Fury of the Gods display. Okay, there's a huge ass side of a building billboard, right? Like we have here in LA on the side of the Disney building down on Sunset. I always take pictures of that thing. There it is. And now you roll down and look, there's 1, 2 huge ones, 2, 3, 4. The whole corner says Shazam. The whole fucking corner says Shazam, Fury of the Gods. And then there's going to be some clown on Twitter that's like, but Warner Brothers didn't promote the movie. No one knew it was coming out. Like, you can only use that for very few films. A great example of that would be anything from Sony. Sony just tends to dump shit out there. Well, especially like 65. They knew that was a total studio dump. But, if you know the film's terrible, you're not going to spend any money. Warner Brothers, they promoted it. How is this not promoting? So anyone who says that, please extract this part of the video and show this to them. Tell them to shut up at the same time. Like, only use that when you can, and you can't use it all the time. What does Shazam 2 have? It's okay. It's okay. I mean, at best. I mean, you're being kind. It's not. It's a bad film. It's just. Did anyone ask for a Harry Potter CBM? Like, when you have the magic pen writing things, I'm like, am I watching Harry Potter? What is this shit? And I know it's Warner Brothers. That's what they said. This is the other thing. That some creative at Warner Brothers is like, you know, it'd be awesome if we take some of the Harry Potter shit and put it into Shazam. That'd be amazing. And you watch it and go, what are we doing? Why are you doing this? Movie's bad. Not good. Shazam 2. As in bad. Shazam 2 would have been better with Black Adam. Also, Captain Marvel, aka Shazam, that's right, he does say Captain Marvel, which was mildly humorous, does have a unique rogues gallery, which would be love for them to show that. I mean, it's not a great movie. There's a better, well, no, I'm not going to even say, time out. I'm not even going down that path. There's not a better Shazam 2 because there shouldn't have ever been a Shazam 2. That is the number one mistake made by Warner Brothers. Not the release date, not the fact that people are tired of CBMs. It's that they made the decision to make Shazam 2. Nobody wanted it. Nobody. Name one person who wanted to see Shazam 2. Look at this weekend's box office. That should tell you all you need to know. Nobody wanted it. Killing the DCEU killed any chance this movie might have had. Alex, listen, it doesn't even matter if James Gunn said all of this is still in. Shazam is a goof CBM. You guys have shown over the last year that you do not like goof CBMs. Thor, Ant-Man, and now Shazam 2. You want gravitas, but then we get it with Wakanda Forever, and that movie's a drag. What a drag of a film. I mean, we need to get back to the Endgame world. The best of all the CBMs in the history of CBMs. I mean, you go Nolan in the Batman trilogy, sure. But, you know, as far as MCU, it's Endgame. But it's just a genre that I need a break from. I know we have Guardians coming up, and I know I've said this so many times, but you know I'm not alone. You guys feel the same way. You're like, I just don't want to watch another CBM anytime soon. That's why they moved Marvel's out of there. Marvel's is sitting there, and Marvel's like, I'm not moving. We're not going to keep it there. We're dead. If we leave the Marvels there, and let me tell you this, and I've heard some rumors that they're reshooting some stuff because it's kind of, you know, a comedic thing. No, if this thing has a comedy edge to it, you better push that thing to 2026. I mean, Brie Larson could be 50 when you release this, as far as I'm concerned. Because if you release a goof, female-driven comic book movie, let's just be straight up with this, it's gonna bomb like bad. Look what happened to Birds of Prey, a movie that absolutely bombed. Anyone who says that film didn't bomb, no, right before COVID, but it did bomb, okay? That 30-some-odd million opening, bad. That no one expected it there. They're thinking 60. That's half of that. So Birds of Prey didn't work. And that was, I mean, that's a comedic leaning, but dark, certainly dark comedy. But it didn't do well. So why is the Marvels going to do well? That's why they moved that shit out of there. They're like, forget it. Audiences are tired of comic book movies. No question about it, Sleepy's Gone. No question. And also, yes, Solomon, bad storytelling or just generic, zero excitement behind this film. When you watch Shazam 2, there's not a single moment in this film that gets your blood going. Excuse me for being frank, gets you hard. It doesn't happen. Nothing. I am drawing now on Champions. Those of you who've seen Champions know this is exactly what this whole shtick is right now. There's a point where Woody Harrelson talks about the pick and roll. And he says, yeah, I'm going to tell you, he's talking to all the kids and the kids that have their intellectual deficiencies and whatnot. Obviously, you've seen the trailer for Champions. And he goes, I'll tell you, that play gets me hard. And I go, oh my God. Champions is great. If you guys haven't seen Champions, we'll talk about it in a minute. It's great. It's really good. Let's roll into our next topic tonight, and we're going to keep going on. You can go back to Shazam. But it's going to dovetail very nicely into what we just talked about with the wake theory. You don't want to run into the wake of a film. So, as we discuss John Wick 4 coming out this week, we are looking at a film that is going to easily set this franchise box office record. There's not a question, because when you look at this film over the series, as I pull it up, we've got the John Wick franchise. Look at this over 1 to 2 to 3. Let's zoom in. Okay, so part 1 opened with 14. And that's the crazy part, right? When you think about John Wick 1, you're talking about a movie that was a cult classic kind of situation, right? Opens at 14.4, finishes at 43. I'm sure made him a little money with international money. What is the international total on that? Let's look real quick. International is 86. I mean, the movie didn't cost much, so they made money on it. So they go, let's make a 2. 2 doubles, okay? John Wick Chapter 2, it goes over double what 1 did. And then 3 almost doubles 2. So right now, if we stick to this pattern, John Wick 4 is going to open at roughly $100 million. Now, is that a little high? Yes, but I'm just saying, look at the pattern. Double, basically double. And if we double it again, that's going to be, what is that? 112. So let's take it back down to 100. This film can get to 90 million plus. This film can get to 90 million plus. And here's why. Because of the Wake theory. That helps as well. The anticipation for this film has built up perfectly. Lionsgate played this. If they're playing poker, they laid the card out as expertly as you could because they showed it to us early. They knew the film was good. And then you see it, you go, oh my God, it's one of the best action movies ever made. And that's not hyperbole. That's coming from me, who does not just throw that shit out, right? You know that I believe that, and wait till you see it. Those of you who have, and some of you have in the comments, say it's up there with The Raid and The Raid 2. And these are 2 of the best action films ever made. I would say The Raid 2 is the best action film ever made in the history of every action film. Going back, name a film, Raid 2 beats it. So I would still put The Raid 2 number 1, but I put John Wick 4 number 2, and I put The Raid number 3. We're talking about sacred films. Well, you talk about the Raid franchise. So when you get up at that level, you're talking about next level, elite filmmaking. This film is going to blow you away. And that is why this film is going to open at 75 plus easy. I'm saying 90 right now. We'll come up with a full number, a projector number on Thursday right now. I'm going to put it at 90. We have days. Let me think about this and rearrange. Give me your thoughts right now. Let me think about the numbers, but I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to start the bidding, start the line at 90, okay? Now, here's why, bringing back the Wake theory. Here's why the film will propel forward off of what happened over the last few weeks. Shazam 2 underperforms. When that happens, that means there's the lull, right? So the Wake dies and everyone's just like, okay, let's go to the movies again. March Madison's weekend 2, but it's not as many games, okay? And John Wick 4 is the kind of compelling movie that's going to get the people who watch March Madness to also go to the movie theater. Shazam wasn't that. It wasn't nearly compelling enough. And as such, you had the problem you had. But if we go to John Wick 4, you're going to have people that watch the games and then go see John Wick 4 at like midnight. They're going to watch the games and then the late night shows. You just wait. Let's do it right now. And we're going to do it again on Thursday when we're back here for the big show on Thursday. But I do want to check out let's check out the pre-sales here. Let's just go to AMC and jump in here and look, because I know for sure that this thing has to be doing well, especially on those later shows. Let's pull it up and see where we are. I got Scream 6, which actually dropped 61% this weekend. Not a surprise. Let's go to Thursday night, and let's go to, where's John Wick 4? Why am I seeing Atlantic Times Square? Okay, this is why I'm looking at Scream 6. There it is. Okay. AMC's website is not the best. All right, here we go. So let's go to the 11:30 IMAX here in Burbank. That is, it's early still, 50%. Let's go to an earlier one. Let's go to the 7:45. Oh my God, look at that. Look at that. You guys, this is like a Marvel movie. I'm telling you, 90's easily accessible. Look at that. That's a Marvel movie. That's everything but the first 2.5 rows. Okay, let's check. Let's go to Dolby 645. Oh, look at that. Same thing. And guys, it's Sunday night. It's going to be, the first row is going to be sold out on Thursday. Now, I want to remind you that every time that I bring up Burbank, I know I'm in the entertainment capital of the universe, right? Here in LA. And Burbank 16 is typically the number one movie screen in complex in the entire United States. So therefore, it's not always the best because we have so many movie fans here, but I'm just telling you, this looks like a Marvel opening to me. That's what this looks like. Let's do one more, and we'll do more Thursday because obviously that's what we do on Thursday, but I'd like to just show you some of the things we do on Thursday here, which is looking at sales. Let's go to, here you go. Century City is the other massive, look at that. Oh my God. And you guys, there's like Literally like 20 seats left. That's insane. There's 2 singles if you guys want them in the back. I like to sit. So this is for those of you who don't know, those of you who see me over at Burbank 16. What row do I pick? I typically pick the row that you walk in. I like to be close, but not in the front too. But I prefer now to be closer than further back because there's always some clown on their phone. Not in Burbank, but wherever you go, the closer you sit. Think about this: you have fewer people that have a chance. You have to look at their phone. So that's why I like to sit closer to the front. All right, let's go to some comments about John Wick 4, and then of course we do have the Shill of the Week's coming up this week. Oh yeah, this is one that someone absolutely recommended. This is going to be good. This is going to be another, just like we talked about wake theory tonight, it's going to be a really good example of someone. Okay, I'm not going to give it away. I'm going to make you wait for a minute. But the person that I picked is a really textbook example of a certain kind of critic. And we're going to talk about that person in a minute because we don't run from anybody. And if anyone has a problem with that, you know where to find me. I'm here. I'm at the screenings. Come up and say something to me. I'm good. We're good. I'm good. Here's the problem there. If not CBM, then what? Hollywood's got to keep the lights on somehow. Well, it's not working. With CBMs, it's diminishing returns. So you've got to figure something out. Horror's working really well. I mean, Smile outperformed. Obviously, we just had Scream 6. X didn't do as good as it should have. X is amazing. Pearl did decent for A24. When you look at horror is traditionally doing well. So when we Josh, that guy, right? They didn't even promote. What are you talking about? Nobody even knew Shazam 2 is coming out. It's such a lame, lazy response, isn't it, Josh? It's like, and then I just showed you literally the entire corner in New York is covered with Shazam 2 shit. And you guys are like, oh, the guy who says that, not you guys, because you're not that dumb to say that. Erick, Shazam 2 is doomed after the ending of the first one. Yeah, right? That I totally agree with you. But remember, Erick, that's what we do now in life. Everybody's got superpowers. Everybody's great. This is the generation now. Everybody's amazing. Therefore, you all have superpowers. And it's exactly correct. When you give it to everybody, then it's not special. And then boom. Exactly. Soup can. Remember, let's go back and look at it one more time for those of you just joining the stream. Anyone who says, but they didn't advertise them. Oh, that's the wrong one. Damn it. I'm getting to that in a minute. That's a physique critique. Give me a second. Here it is. Okay. Look, one more time. This is the corner of whatever the hell this is. What does it say there? I don't know. Whatever. It's in New York somewhere.
Shazam!
Look. The billboard. And then the corner is wallpapered in billboards. 1, 2, around the corner, 3, and that it cubes around the corner, right? So it's got that the corner turn. I mean, are you kidding me? So don't even come in here. They didn't advertise the movie. No one advertised it. Please cut this part out and stamp it on anyone who says something so stupid. Just show them this and they will instantly delete the tweet and go, my God, you're so dumb. Hey, listen, this is my kind of comment. This is my kind of comment. The internet lasts forever. You can't erase. First of all, I already did it the other night. Go back. I'm not doing it again. I already did it before. There are countless critics who liked Quantumania. Okay, including Empire Magazine. Empire Magazine is one of the greatest film magazines out there, one of the biggest, and they loved it. They gave it 4 out of 5. So don't tell me I'm the only one. It's like, that's a lazy mega YouTube 99. Mega lazy comment. It's just a cheap. It's like cheap heat. Don't do that because it's not. If I were the only one, you could come here and I would still defend it. But the fact that you're going to come in here with that when there are literally, you're going to make me do this. I didn't want to, but I'm going to do it one more time, and then we're going to get into the show of the week because now I'm fired up. I can do this. It's perfect. So Rotten Tomatoes. Let's go to where the hell is Ant-Man? Where the hell is Ant-Man? Give me a second. Let me go to where's Ant-Man? I'm sorry, guys. For those of you who were here the other night, I'm so sorry that I have to do this again for people like my boy YouTube 99. By the way, my internet's getting weird, so just bear with it. It'll get better. My internet's weird. It's Burbank. We suck. Burbank's internet sucks. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Okay, here we go. Let's just go to Fresh. Fresh, 178. That's right, YouTube 99. I'm the only person who liked it. Erick Weber's the only person that liked Quantumania. The only human being. Oh, that's right. There's 170. What was it? 57? 107? Hold on. 170 what? Let me see. 170. 178. So I'm the only one. 3 out of 5. 4 out of 5. Empire Magazine, 4 out of 5. Get out of here. Just YouTube. Be better. Mega YouTube 99. Come in with something better than that. Please. Smash the like button, like I said. Thank you. Thank you, Chris Gore. Thank you, Chris Gore. Oh, by the way, let's do it. Since we have everybody here, it's a big night. It's Sunday night. Let's do the Shill of the week. Oh, man, I revealed it early. I'm so sorry, guys. It's there. Okay, this is going to be a case. Now, for those who've never watched Shill of the week, this is how it works. We pick out one critic every week on Sunday night who is not really a critic, but more of a shill. Now, the all-time king of the shills that will never be beaten in the history of shilldom is Erick Davis at Fandango. There's not ever going to be competition for that guy. A guy who, when we pulled up his page of reviews, had all fresh reviews. And then they all disappeared. Remember that night? They all disappeared when we were talking about it. It was the weirdest thing. So tonight, will it happen again? Because tonight's show of the week is Mama's Geeky. So I don't personally know her. I know of her. But let's pull up what we have here. And this is why this is going to be a good Shill of the week this week. Because this is how you are an expert shill. And let me explain how you do this. So if you want to be a shill who's sneaky, and you don't want to be straight up like Erick Davis and say every movie's great, what you do is, as we go through here, you're going to praise everything that's a larger movie so we can be part of the advertising, praise everything. And then we can hammer films like Chang Can Dunk. Do you guys even know what that is? Do you guys even know what Chang Can Dunk is? Because I don't. But Chang Can Dunk, by the way, which is at 94%, but she gave it a rotten. So this is how you go around someone saying that you're a shill. You hammer films like We Have a Ghost. I mean, what is this? Was that even a movie? Does anybody know what this was? So what you do is you light up films that are no one knows about, no one cares about. You don't savage the major studio releases. You don't savage Scream 6, Shazam 2, a Disney film. You don't do any of that. That's how you stay the Shill of the week. Now, in the comments, do you understand what I'm trying? Do you guys understand the concept of what I'm saying? You're going to give a negative review to a film that's safe to give a negative review to. And you're going to praise everything that is, quote, unsafe to give a negative review to. So any major film. And if you go through this, Creed 3 is very good. It's not a 5 out of 5. What the hell is Showing Up? Oh, Showing Up is the movie. It's small little film, art house film. By the way, 90%, and she's got to run. But do you see? We pick on the smaller film and we praise pretty much everything else. But look, these are all positive. Oh my God, Babylon 4 out of 5. Oh my God, what? A truly bizarre film that won't be for everyone, but it will certainly leave a lasting impression on its viewers. Oh, it sure did, including the very beginning where the elephant shits on us. That's right, it did leave a lasting impression on me. It's a wild and crazy love letter to early Hollywood. It could have been. I would definitely say it's wildly horrible. It isn't afraid to push the envelope. Again, elephant shitting on you in golden showers. The final scene is beautiful. Okay, right there. Can I just say, can we just stop for a moment? Who's seen Babylon? Someone please come. Does anyone who sat through Babylon could you ever even imagine saying that montage that Damien puts together at the end is anything short of a shit show? If you think that is a great montage, I mean, well, I remember sitting in that premiere going, what am I watching? What are these disconnected films just thrown together just randomly on the screen? Was he high? I have this theory. Damien Chazelle was on crack during the entire time that he was editing the movie and making it. It's the only answer for how terrible this film is. It's terrible, but yet 4 out of 5. So there we are, our Shill of the week, who tonight is an interesting one because we have one of these cases where you have somebody who's very smart about hammering the films you can and then praising the ones that you want to. So that's not a critic. We have too many people in the space that are not film critics. They are not good at doing this. They're just sorry, it's the reality of the situation. Okay, you can't, just like the superpowers in Shazam, you can't say everybody can do this. They can't. Okay? Now, you can attack me for Ant-Man 3, it's fine. but I'm not alone in seeing its positives. Okay. So the problem comes is if I walk out of a movie like Scream 6 and tell you it's one of the greatest horror movies ever made, and then you see Scream 6 and you go, oh shit, what? Or Cocaine Bear. Oh, I mean, I've had a really bad run of films lately. Okay. Think about this. Go back to Cocaine Bear, Scream 6, Shazam 2. Throw in there a movie that I was absolutely a doll. What a boring film. Quiet Girl. And then another film I'm going to talk about right now called Inside. This is going to be short and sweet. We get trapped inside of a penthouse in New York City as William Dafoe tries to steal art. But it's not really that. It's metaphorical. We knew this. He isn't really trapped in the apartment building. He's trying to get somewhere else. Okay? This movie, it's 1:45. I swear to God, Gore was in there with me yesterday. I felt like I was in the movie for 2.5 hours. It is just William Dafoe doing things such as taking a shit in the guy's, like, I don't know, it's a giant bathtub. That's the movie. Watching William Dafoe in a pile. This is how bad the film is. You have a shot of William Dafoe squatting over, and then the director, I forget this guy's name. I don't even want to talk about it. He has a pile of feces, and you stare at that. And at that moment, I said, I can't believe that someone at Focus thought that that part right there needed to be in the film. I mean, you cut that. You get rid of all of it. Inside's terrible. Inside, 0.5 out of 10. 0.5. Only for William Dafoe because we like him. But the film I really like is the film I mentioned earlier when I talked about Woody Harrelson getting a hard-on for the pick and roll. It's what happens in the movie. It's a great film. And here's why Champions is very good. Because it humanizes the kids in the film that have the disabilities. And I'll tell you, if you watch the film, there's one sequence that I think fairly just absolutely, if you want to see how to tell a story very expertly and quickly, watch Champions and watch when you're getting to know the players. They each walk out of the gym. Woody Harrelson's having a conversation with Cheech, right? Yeah, it's Cheech. And they're sitting out there, and each of the members comes out, and then Cheech starts telling about their story, and they quickly do a montage of saying he works at a pet store, and they just go through it. It's so well done, and that's what you're looking. When you watch a film and you see something that well executed, you go, man, this is good. We talk about pinging the top of the meter. That is so well. If you're a filmmaker, go watch Champions and watch how they introduce those characters and how they humanize them and how you make them living, breathing humans. You know how many times, I know that sounds like no shit, but here's the thing. How many times have you watched a movie we deal with, like go back to the Peanut Butter Falcon. Even there, I think it's even a little bit, it leans so much into this almost like sappy thing. Champions doesn't do that. Champions does a very good job of humanizing the team, and Woody Harrelson is just totally likable. It's a great film. It's a feel-good film, and it's a total and absolute pure joy. I really liked it. So if you want something to see, go see that. Comment time. Let's go to it because we've nailed so many of our topics tonight. By the way, tonight's shirt is Independent del Valle out of Ecuador. We travel the globe here at Midnight Movie Talk. That's what we do. Dafoe needs to be Joker with Shea Winnie and Batman. I mean, Dafoe's fantastic as an actor. I mean, as we know, Green Goblin. I mean, but he is just, you go back and look at Florida Project and all the things over the years. I'm just thinking most recently of William Dafoe. He's a great character actor, probably one of the best we've ever had. He's such a weird looking dude, right? He's like the Steve Buscemi, very much the same kind of thing. You need a weird looking dude who can play all kinds of roles. Nightmare Alley. Unfortunately not much in that film, but I really love Nightmare Alley, but he's not in the film much. But he's just got this thing that's weird, right? He just has this, I don't know about this guy. And if you're looking for that, that's what William Dafoe offers. But the problem with Inside is you're stuck with him and it just drags. It's a drag. You're stuck inside this apartment for the entire time. It's not a perm. I played volleyball today. Thank you, sir. The second best. Oh, behind Paulie. Yeah, come on. I heard Shazam 2 made 30 cents this weekend, Jeff. I mean, it's close. It's a close number. Bo Burnham, hey, anything goes right now. Whatever you want to do. Bo Burnham, I can tell you this. 8th Grade is a film that I really like. And what I love about that film is the choices by Bo Burnham, the director. And I remember, I've told this story before, but those of you who are new to the channel, when I went to go to the 8th grade, they had the premiere kind of party thing at this actual middle school here in LA. And it was awesome. It was an awesome night. They showed it in like the school gymnasium. And then we went outside to food trucks and there was like a dance in the gym. It was really smart promotion by A24. But Bo Burnham was there. And I remember going up to him and I liked the film, but I remember specifically what I liked. Apparently he wrote an entire score for that film, but he put it in the rear view because he liked what Anna Meredith, the composer for that film, did. And that choice was so strong in that film. These are the things I pay attention to, the score of 8th grade. But when I told Bo Burnham that, he instantly was like, he looked at me and he made like the soul connection, right? And he's like, you're the only person who's mentioned that. And you're 100% right. It's like, she's fantastic. And it really adds to the film. Like, yeah, because that's what, right? How many times you go up to these directors, you see here all the time. I'm at these parties, Gore's there too. You hear, oh, we love your movie. It's so great. And you're like, that's such a generic statement. Like if you guys, for those of you who come out and about here in LA and you see me out and about, feel free to come up. You'll love Midnight Movie Talk. Tell me what I love, the shill of the week, right? I really like that time that you talked about how hot Elizabeth Olsen was. And I'll say to you, well, which time? Which of the 500 times did you like? You couldn't pay me to see Shazam 2. Listen, I don't want to see it again. King of the Hill, I don't watch. Listen, I only watch movies, honestly. Michael, thank you for being a member. Really appreciate it. Let's go back to some other comments. Hey, hit me with whatever you want here on this Sunday night. We'll go 1 hour tonight. So we got 20 minutes. Any comments you want. Big week this week because we do have John Wick 4 coming up. And I'm going to talk more at length about that film this week coming up on Thursday. We'll do the longer review, spoiler free. And I think the best part about those Thursday night shows, it gives you a chance to see the movie. And now we can discuss it at length because the worst part about doing what we do when you see the movie so early, like John Wick 4, seeing it like almost a month ahead of time. I know you're going to say, oh, woe is me, first world problems. I get it. But the worst part is that you want to discuss it and no one is there to discuss other than Chris Gore. And I don't want to talk to Gore anymore. I mean, I already see him way too much. So I need to talk to someone other than Chris Gore. And he's the only one who saw it other than me and Alan. And that's it. I mean, I talk to these guys. I'm kind of sick of them. So I need other people to talk to about John Wick 4. We'll have that opportunity on Thursday. You're going to love it. I mean, there's no one's going to come on this. I told you that night that we did this. Go back and watch the first reaction to John Wick 4 here on MMT. I told you guys there's going to be no one who comes back here once you see that film and tells me that I'm wrong. That tells me that this film does not deliver not just what you want, but everything you want plus an additional times 5 on that. Every single thing in this film is what you're asking for and things you didn't even know you wanted. And this is coming from someone who's not the biggest fan of John Wick. So if you are a fan of John Wick, you're going to lose your shit on Thursday night. You're literally going to go, oh my God, this is one of the best movies I've ever seen. And the runtime's not an issue, which is for me to say is a big deal. What do I always talk about? Every movie's too long. This film at 2:45 it works. There's very little drag. I've heard people say it drags. I disagree because here's the thing. You're constantly building to another gigantic centerpiece fight. You're going from one to another. You're getting, I think it's at least 5. I lost count. It's minimum 4. It could be 5. We're talking centerpiece, massive fight scenes, not like a couple of things. Like it goes on for like 10 minutes and then we get a little break. Then we get a 15 minute, then we get a break. Then we get a 20 minute. It's one of the craziest films that I've ever seen in my life as far as its ability to continue to build stakes and to build the world and to build the fights larger and larger to the point where you're just literally losing. You're like, this isn't real. What am I watching? Alan Ning, greatest movie so far. No question. I mean, here's the thing. At the end of the year, we talked about it when I came out of it. We sat next to each other, Alan, and Jeff was on the other side. This film is an awards film for me. Because at the end of the day, when we're talking awards, we're talking about the best film. We're not talking about the best awards film. We're talking about what film moved you the most this year. And John Wick 4 is gonna be an awards film. And I told you guys that Top Gun Maverick was going to be an awards film. And I'm here tonight telling you that John Wick 4 will be an awards film. Not Keanu Reeves in Best Actor. But as far as a film, as far as, let's just throw cinematography, some of the things this film has to do in the fight scenes, okay? This film should be an awards film. I'm telling you now, Go put your money on it now. Not to win, but certainly, absolutely should be there at the end of the year. Aaron, thanks for bringing this up. I really hope someone would talk about this. Lance Reddick, rest in peace. I mean, what a sad situation with this film that I think is going to be the biggest of the franchise. We know that. But what makes this is very hard for me to discuss because you're going to watch a film on Thursday that is going to be very eerie for you to watch. That's all I will say without doing any kind of spoiler. I think you might know where I'm going with that, but I'll just stop. It's going to be a very eerie situation for those of you who are going to see John Wick 4 this week, just days after Reddick's death. That's all I'm going to say about it. We'll talk more about it on Thursday. But it's gonna be, I mean, I'm gonna watch it again and just be like, I can't believe what happened, right? It's another one of these, man in his 60s, he's in great shape, and then just boom, gone. I mean, that's life these days. It's really scary when you think about it, that we just seem to be, I'm not gonna get political here. We can, but we usually try to stop. But it really is, if you think back to the number of people that we've lost over the past, year and a half, 2 years, just on in the age. I mean, 60 years old is not an age that people just die. Not in good health. It just doesn't happen. In 50 and 40, it just doesn't happen, man. I don't care what you tell me. I know it doesn't happen, and I'm not going to pretend that all of a sudden it does. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to play the game that some want you to play. It's not going to happen. Yeah, he crapped inside. That's right. He did. God, it's so bad. Inside is such a bore. It's a shame that William Dafoe wasted his time on that film. I mean, it's really something that could have been interesting at shorter length without the crap scene. Maybe. Campea. I don't watch John Campea, guys. Gore always says I should watch him. I go, why? Why should I watch? I don't want to watch somebody else that then I'll get some ideas. I'll be like, I'm going to try to do something like John. I don't want to do something like John Campea. I don't want to do something like Grace Randolph. That's for sure. I just do. Dude, we've said it so many times, guys. This show, it will always be a niche little show. We talk about things such as the wake theory. Okay. Coined by me. It's so random and it's inside baseball, most of this stuff, right? But those of you who really love film, that's why you're here. We're not doing like Grace Randolph talking about obscure characters in the MCU and this and no. We're talking about film. We're talking about the theatrical experience and all that goes with it. So yeah, I like movies too, though. Omega Swiper, I really do. But I also don't have a problem destroying a film if it's bad. I mean, that's what we have to do, like Babylon. I like Damien Chazelle a lot, and his other films are very strong, but it's a mess. I mean, I said it before. If you think that Babylon, especially, let's just laser focus on the montage in the cinema at the end. If you think that is well made, we really need to sit you down and have you watch some other films they're really strong, okay? Not that. Not that montage at the end of that shit fest. Babylon sucks. Jeff, Shildum, it is. But here's the thing, though. Whenever John Campea goes over first reactions, Eric Davis, and Eric Davis. Oh, does he go over first reactions? I don't watch John. Okay, so all right, yeah. Well, of course, because you know that he's gonna say Eric Davis. I've said it, but let's just do it one more time. Let's do it again, because I can never get tired of doing this. Eric Davis brings zero value into the film journalism business. Zero. There's nothing that man brings into this business now that warrants anyone even discussing him as a first reaction. Now, that's not to suggest that he doesn't feel that way about some films. The problem is when you love everything, you instantly are over because we can't trust you, and you can't trust Eric Davis. The man's a shill. The man's the king of the shills. And if he ever comes out here and says something to me, I was like, dude, are you going to argue the fact that you're a shill? Because I know you're not, because you can't. You can't argue that. You can come at me and say you're being kind of like a jerk, but I'm just calling you out for what you are. You're a shill. So what's the beef going to be, right? I don't like you saying that. Well, here's how you fix it, Eric Davis. You don't be a shill. Not that hard, man. It's so easy. If you're a shitty person, don't be a shitty person. If you're a shill, don't be a shill. but he can't. He works for Fandango. He's got to be a Shill. I got a Shill on everything because he sells movie tickets. That man can't walk out of a movie like Inside and say it's a 0.5 out of 10. Are you kidding me? But that's why he has no value. He has zero value. Zero. Not even 0.1. Zero value that man has. Sorry, it's the truth. That's just the truth. I don't care if it's mean. It's true. You guys know it's right. All right, we'll do some more comments in a minute. Thank you, Michael. Everybody who's in here tonight, Super Chat gets you in. We have 10 minutes. We're rolling. We are going to in and out. It's a 1 hour show. We're not doing Chris Gore's 17 hour show. I just like to slam Gore. It's just fun. Let's do this. Gore wanted this, so I'll give it to him. Physique critique time. It's Shazam. Now, we talked about having to have foam muscles. So when I put up, you guys know what the foam muscles from Shazam look like. Let's zoom in. Here it is. Let's pull it up. So I personally want to see an actor who's jacked. I want to see The Rock. I want to see Wolverine, Hugh Jackman. Zach Levi's wearing foam suit. Like, look, right? It's not his chest. That's a foam pec. Okay? And the arms, that's not his arms. That's not his delts. I doubt it's his ass. I don't even know if that's his dick over there. I don't know if any of that is Zach Levi's actual physical equipment. I have no idea. I just know that is a suit. And obviously, I think you guys can tell too. But here's the other way you can tell. Is that, listen, we're not gonna body shame here. That's not what we're gonna do. But I'm just gonna point out, he's in shape. He looks good. Right? He's not, when no one would look at Zach Levi and go, that guy's, fat. But he's also not ripped or cut, right? I mean, he's in decent shape, but no one would ever say that's ripped. That's defined. That's like, if I saw him walking down the street, so that guy's, he works out a little here and there, but that's not Hugh Jackman, right? I don't want to buy shoes. Listen, that's just the truth, right? Give me a thumbs up if you agree. Okay. So the physique critique for Shazam is, I don't like a foam suit. I will give him this. At least in this one, it doesn't look as goofy, right? They added some texture to the suit. Where is it? You guys seen it, right? So look, like the texture, right? Before it was just that straight red in 2019. It looked terrible. It's a shame they didn't have this one. This would make a really cool football shirt. I need this. Does a team? I have so many guys. I have too many. I could change a show and do a change every 5 minutes. Here's another shirt for those of you here in the States. It's soccer jersey, but now that I, have been educated on the ways of football overseas, it's football shirt. But yeah, I mean, Zach Levi's, he's fine. He's not jacked. No one would ever say, seems like a nice guy though. Even though he said those terrible things he said about Pfizer, that wonderful company Pfizer. You guys are amazing when people say that. I just go, my God, you're kidding me. The fact that some people actually still think that shit. Michael, padded suits work with guys like Homelander. Yeah. I think maybe, I don't know what his actual physical stature is. I mean, I love him as an actor, but it is still that foamy suit. I would just want to have as least amount of foam possible for me. Look at The Rock. He's just poured into it. But he's The Rock. He's too big, right? We can agree. No offense, Rock. I know we're buddies, but he's gonna one day invite me to Iron Paradise. I know it. I know it's gonna happen. But he's too big. He's jacked. I mean, you can't put The Rock in a role like as an accountant. Oh yeah, you can. It's called Skyscraper, and the movie bombed. It did not do well because he looks weird as an accountant. The Rock has to be a superhero, a larger-than-life character, pro wrestler. He cannot be Joe the accountant. You can't do it. Tom Hardy did it. Yeah, Tom Hardy he's in good shape. He's just not ripped. Like, Tom Hardy's I wouldn't want to mess with Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy's like a pit bull. Like, if you got into a fight with Tom Hardy, he'd rip your nuts off. It'd be over. The nuts would be torn off, and you'd be like, oh my God, Tom Hardy just ripped my nuts off. But that's how he goes. I mean, you watch him. What was the MMA movie again? God, not The Fighter. What the hell was it called? Shit. Help me out. What was the MMA movie with him? No, he's just weird, and I wouldn't get into a fight with him because he would do something really, really nasty, such as ripping your cock off. Grace Randolph tried blaming some other reason to fly because of the... No, that's not what happened. Okay, thank you, Megatube. You just redeemed yourself. This is not Grace Randolph. That's, you know what that is? That's a very stupid reason it thing. You know what that is? That is a virtue signaling reason why this film flopped. If you say that what he said about Pfizer, by the way, not even anti-vax, he just said Pfizer is not the best thing. I think we can agree with that. I'm sorry. So what? I don't give a shit. Yes. So that's why people didn't go see it. Give me a break. That's lazy. It's lame, Grace Randolph. Be better than that. Don't go down the same fucking path the rest of Hollywood does. Be your own person. Do not say that's why it flopped. Are you kidding me? It might have removed $10 from the total. So if Zach Levi had not said we'd be better off without Pfizer, coming up with a new shot for everything under the sun, then maybe it would have 30.50010. So she's technically right. It's $10 short because of the Pfizer thing. Unbelievable. And you guys watch Grace Randolph? Man, I'm glad I don't. That's such a dumb thing to say. I'll put her I'll make her the Shill of the week next week for that. It's dumb. Warrior. That's it. Warrior. You guys rock. Warrior. That's it. Warrior. Dave Bautista's a monster. God, that guy. Talk about a physique. Dave Bautista, remember when he came into wrestling, he has the delts, like in the cuts in the delts on that man. We'll do it another night. Where he's chiseled. He's got the veins. He's got the cannonballs on the side. He is a jacked dude. Wasn't he an injured SWAT? Was he? I hardly remember the movie. Whatever. He was in an office though. What I don't remember. For God's sake, Nev Campbell. The fact you remember the movie. Yeah, that's true, Michael. Don't pay attention to Twitter. No, there's died suddenly. There is that. Oh, they're coming for me now. They're coming for me now, everybody. What's actually Antivax a good film? That's the thing. Who gives a shit? Doesn't matter. That's true. They did. They gave us that. $10 from. I'm just throwing it all out there. Grace said that. What? She did not. She said it was bad. Oh shit, that's such a bad take. If Grace, when you guys see John Wick 4, by the way, she's not a good film critic. Let's make sure that's 100% again stated for the record. Grace Randolph is not a good film critic. No. Oh, no. She's absolutely, she might be when you look at viewers and influence to actual talent, I'm just going to lay it out like this and she can come after me. I don't give a crap. Is when you look certainly at evaluating film, if you're going to say John Wick 4 is bad, then you're telling me you don't know what you're doing, which I think she's probably shown repeated times. You can come up with other movies. And you guys are all going to go, well, you liked Ant-Man. Like, well, so did 170 some other people, including Empire Magazine, 4 out of 5. But whatever. But John Wick 4 is not a bad film. I don't know what you're even doing at that point. I have no idea. I had only one good hour. Stop watching Grace Randolph. Hang out here. We're cooler. And although we don't have, looking out into the New York skyline, we're cooler. Look at all the friends we have with us, including Wonder Woman 84. As you guys know, help me out here. The worst CBM of all time. Grace Randolph is one of the reasons online film criticism struggled to earn credibility. I mean, well, she's not a critic. I mean, we can't call her that. Don't call Grace Randolph a critic. She's not. She is a film journalist. She is a YouTuber. I'm not a YouTuber. You guys, obviously, it's very clear, but I'm not a YouTuber. I am a film fanatic / evaluator, and that's what I want to talk about. I started doing this. I wanted to just absolutely go off on things. That's what we did. I'm not a YouTuber. And by the way, can someone help me before we're almost out of the stream? Someone explain to me. I need someone before we'll do this a whole nother thing. Can you guys please explain how is Chris Stuckman interesting to you guys? Can you guys tell me? Because every time, and I know I've talked about this before, I'm not going to, but every time I watch Chris Stuckman, I go like this. I'm literally, did I turn my mic off? No, I didn't this time. I literally start to crash the keyboard. I go, my God, this guy. I mean, you guys know Milk Toast, right? He's absolutely milk toast. I mean, he's just boring. I mean, listen, you can say anything you want about me, and trust me, There's a million things you can come in here and say you liked Ant-Man 3, but you can't say boring. You could say loudmouth, mean, jerk. I don't even know why you'd say jerk, but because you're calling people out. You're calling people the shill of the week, but they're shills. But you're still doing it. That's not nice. But they're shills. But you're that's you got a point. You got a point. Well, fine. We just don't like you have a smug look about you. We hate you for that. Like, whatever. What he did too? No, it's terrible. Oh, yeah, Jeremy John, that guy's weird. I watched his stuff too. I'm sorry. I'm just saying. Did he used to be good? Okay. I mean, Latino Slant's not good either. I know he's here. I mean, he's unwatchable, no question. Gore, talk about milk toast. Put Stuckman and Gore together, you got yourself the most boring film show in the history of the planet. Gore's not here anymore. I could use an editor. Maybe I'll put that out for you guys. If I had an editor, then we would have 10 million subscribers. There's no question about it. She had to go. Wait, who? I don't know. I missed this. All right, we're 5 minutes and I'm out of here, Dave. I have no idea what's going on here in the comments. It's a great editor, Loverboy. He elevates. I mean, maybe I should get somebody to do this that wants to do it. A fan. I'm not. We still aren't making. Once the channel starts bringing in like serious cash, then we can pay an actual editor. But as it is, right? When we have literally bottles of vodka on the table, a sampling of whiskey. I've got Marcel the Shell here. I've got the stack of FYC DVDs. I mean, we're not rolling in cash here at MMT, but when we do, yeah, exactly. Not boring. No, 100%. Extreme 6 sucks. You guys, terrible. Such a bad movie. That's right. This is good. This is actually, thank you for bringing this, Britton, because he said this to me the other night. For those of you, and we'll leave it at this because this is actually hilarious. When he said that, I go, Britton, I almost gave him a kiss on his lips. I was that amazed that he said this. You guys, someone in the comments tell me who Barry Champlain is. Come in and tell me. I'm not going to tell you guys, but tell me who that is. You can't do it, Britton. Someone else has to do it. No one can do it except you can't. Anyone else can come in and tell me who is Barry Champlain. Who is Barry Champlain? I need to raise the price. 99 cents is not getting it done. It is. You wonder why you have no money. It's 99 cents. Like, I mean, I can go get a big gulp. I get my Diet Mountain Dew for that. Kevin, talk radio. Do you remember Barry Champlain? What was the name of the actor? Shit, that guy. Help me out. I love talk radio. He was this shock jock, right, in Texas, I want to say. And then when he said that, I go, my God, it is kind of like that. So please, let's just not have it end like talk radio. But the rest of it's amazing. But no, literally, I go Barry Champlain. It's hilarious. No, 100%. I don't watch Sean Chandler. I have no idea. I know I've seen Sean pop up. I don't watch a whole Erick Bogosian. Thank you. You guys see, Kevin, unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Alec Baldwin. That's right. Alec Baldwin's in that movie. I forgot that Alec Baldwin's in that. He plays he's the program director, isn't he? He's the manager of the station. All right. I'll leave you with this, guys. This is your homework for tonight. Every movie, we're going to pick a movie at the end of every show. Your homework for tonight. Let me do a banner because your homework. Hold on. Tonight's homework. Let me just do. I just realized I want to do this homework. Give me a second. I got to type it in here. This is the movie you have to watch. You guys ready? I hope I spelled it right. If I did, give me a thumbs up. Tonight's homework is you need to watch. Hopefully you guys have watched this film. If you haven't, it goes in perfectly. As soon as you said Alec Baldwin, I go, I know what your homework is tonight. Glenn Ross. I believe, I hope it's 2 R's. Hold on. Did I get it right? Glenn Gary. I did! I got it right! Oh my God, I have not seen. There it is. Look. Glenn Ross. Oh my God, it's only 1 hour and 40. If you have never watched Glenn Ross, this is your homework tonight. You must watch this film. You got another minute on the stream, then you can leave. You need to watch Glenn Ross. And for ABC alone, always be closing. You need to watch that scene. Is one of the best in the history of cinema. And think about the actors in that movie. Kevin Spacey, I know he's canceled, but at the time, Kevin Spacey, Alec Baldwin, Lemon, who the hell else is in that? Pacino, Ed Harris, Alan Arkin. My God. If you have not watched Glengarry Glen Ross, your homework in the next time before I see you guys on Thursday, likely. I might see Air on Tuesday. We might do a stream after Air, the Jordan thing. I might see it. But if you haven't, you need to go watch Glengarry Glen Ross. It's an amazing film. It's some of the best performances. It's a play. It's Neil Simon, correct? I believe. Coffees for Closers, 100%. It's so good. That's your homework tonight. And check the community tab. We might be here for Air, the Amazon film. I'm going to maybe see it Tuesday. And if I do, we'll do a stream about that. Obviously, spoiler free. If not, we're back here Thursday for a huge show. Because Thursday is John Wick 4. And it's going to be big. The number is going to be, I'm going 90 right now. We'll see what happens on Thursday. Right now, give me a number. I'm telling you, 90. Everything's been doubling. This film's in perfect spot. It's a great film, no matter what Grace Randolph, the non-film critic, tells you. Doesn't know what she's doing in the realm of film evaluation. No fucking clue. So as such, you can trust me when I tell you you're going to come out of John Wick 4. You're going to come out here on Thursday and you're like, oh my God, that movie's amazing. Those action scenes, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, 5 at least. Major scenes that are right up there with the Raid and the Raid 2. And for me to say that is as high a compliment as you. Thank you. It's Mammoth. I knew it was Neil Simon's Mammoth. Damn it. It's going to be, the BO for John Wick 4 is not, that could be bad because there's a lot of action. So he's definitely going to stink. But the film does it. The film rocks. I'll see you guys on Thursday, maybe Tuesday for Air. But if not, Thursday for John Wick 4. Cinema, baby. Action cinema at its finest. You only have days until it opens. I can't wait to talk to you about it. Thanks for being here tonight. Like, subscribe. You already know that stuff. I'll see you next time. Live from Los Angeles, Erick Weber. Good night.